Let's all welcome Senator J.V. Ejercito. Hi sir, magandang umaga.
Yes, magandang umaga. Good morning to our friends from the Senate Media. Magandang umaga sa inyo. Nice to be back. Gaya na sinabi ni Ate Selly, kababalik ko lang galing sa IPU sa Geneva as the head of the Senate's delegation to the Interparliamentary Union. And but I'm also flying out to Taiwan for the JCI World Congress, during Chamber International, because we are bidding for a World Congress again to be held in the Philippines, particularly Clark, for 2028. Kaya ako pupunta ron. We are going to bid for us kasi rin to, sayang. That's about 4,000 delegates that will be coming here for a World Congress. So sayang din yun. That's tourism also and the promotion of the country. So ayun, kaya I'll be leaving also in a while for Taiwan.
Pero andito na kayo before the resumption of session on Monday.
Of course, I will be here. I'll be back hopefully by Saturday. Pagtapos ng bid natin in the JCI World Congress, I'll be coming back right away.
Sir, sa first issue natin, the Supreme Court has issued TRO to prevent the further transfer of the remaining 29.9 billion pesos mula dun sa total na 89.9 billion excess fund ng PhilHealth. Any comment on that, sir?
Well, that's a very welcome development, Of course, as the principal sponsor and author of the Universal Healthcare Act, of course, I would like to give priority to the implementation of UHC, and a big factor in the success of its implementation is PhilHealth, because that's the primary agency that is tasked to implement the UHC. And ang rito kasi, ang naging controversial tong 89 billion na that was declared as an excess funds, although nandoon kasi sa GAA that the Department of Finance may tap excess funds of GOCCs and other agencies for other priority programs. But for me, it's already it's in the law that the funds should be used solely for the benefit of the members, which is ang ibig sabihin, lahat ng Pilipino ngayon ay considered na member, so dapat unahin muna ang benefits sa members and to cover the expenses and the medical needs of the people. So hindi rin natin masisi ang DOF because there are priority programs, yung mga nakapark na funds, they would like to access to fund the priority measures. But ang rito, yung PhilHealth, why would they declare an excess fund of 89 billion? Ngayon po, ang dami pa rin nahihirapan sa medical bills, di ba? While people are still struggling to pay the medical expenses, there are still hospitals that haven't been paid. Yung premium natin, hopefully, when we pass the UHC amendment, we will be able to adjust it to a lower rate para naman maka-recover tayo because of the pandemic. But not until that is passed, that the least the PhilHealth can do is to cover all Filipinos, because we are already, nafo-frustrate ako kasi as the sponsor and author of the Universal Healthcare Act, we are already entering the 5th year of implementation of the UHC. It's a 10-year program, it's a work in progress, but by this time, it should already be felt by most of the Filipinos, Kasi nasa na tayo nasa going 5th year, and our intent is to give access to good quality healthcare for all Filipinos without the financial burden. Yan ang intent ng law. We have to lower the out-of-pocket expenses. So, bakit ka magdedeklara ng 89 billion gayong napakarami pang Pilipino ang nahihirapan bayaran ang kanilang medical expenses? Ang nakakalungkot dito, at selling na, receive so many information, mga complaints na halimbawa 500,000 inabot yung medical bills, ang sasagutin lang ng PhilHealth 12,000, 15,000. Parang hindi mo naramdaman. Kung sinagot man lang 30%, 40% o even 50%, ang laking bagay sana nun. Meron pa ako nakita, billing 100,000, sinagot 8,000. Ba't naman ganon? That's not. I like to remind PhilHealth that they are not a private corporation na kailangan may profit, na may savings at the end of the year. We are a government agency, a service agency aside from a health insurance agency, kailangan natin ubusin yan para sa benepisyo ng miyembro, di ba? So, why will you declare an 89 billion excess fund when there are people who are still struggling to pay the hospital bills? There are hospitals that haven't been paid. Yung benefit packages natin, maganda pakinggan pero hindi nyo naman sinasagot lahat. So, yun. That's why I'm very, I welcome the TRO of the Supreme Court on the excess fund of PhilHealth, no, that will be transferred supposedly to the National Treasury. I'm hoping, that's why I'm calling also on our counterparts in the House of Representatives to prioritize already the amendment of the Universal Healthcare Act, which includes, of course, yung adjustment to the rates, no, na ibababa yung rates, and second, reiteration that PhilHealth's funds should only be used for PhilHealth and health purposes, that it cannot be realigned for other purposes. So kasama na po yun, yung reiteration nito sa UHC amendments.
Sir, since yung TRO, ang covered lang yung remaining 29.9 billion pesos na hindi natatransfer, are you still hoping or may chance pa kaya na mahabol yung nailipat na 60 billion in case na ideklara na unconstitutional ng Korte Suprema yung
Well, sana
transfer?
sana maibalik, no? Kasi nga of course, sabihin na natin may bias ako because my concern really is the implementation of the UHC. Ang gandang pakinggan, siyempre nakakasama rin na loob, nakaka-frustrate that it's really a landmark legislation, but again, we are already in the 4th year, dapat nararamdaman na ito, no? Yung iba naman ramdam na, no? There are already improvements from almost 60% out-of-pocket expense before its passage. Ngayon nasa 40 to 45%, no? So bumaba na, but kung sana maibaba pa natin, no? Again, reminder to PhilHealth, being the author, hindi tayo profit-oriented, no? Service-oriented tayo dapat. Kung meron tayong pondo, dapat yan ginagastos for the benefit of the members. Dapat hindi nahihirapan. Ang mga indigents, yung mahihirap, yung mga PWDs, yung mga senior citizen na walang kapasidad na magbayad ng kanilang hospital expenses, dapat inuuna natin sila before declaring an excess or savings, 'di ba? So hindi ang DOF ang may kasalanan dito. I think it's PhilHealth kasi bakit kayo magdedeklara hangga't may nahihirapan?
So what do you think should be done, sir, to prevent this from happening again aside dun sa approval ng proposed amendments sa UHC law?
Well, yun lang. Sana we stick to the implementation of the law. Nandun naman talaga yun that funds should be used for members, for the benefit of the members and for health purposes. No, kailangan lang natin i-reiterate 'yon. Kaya lang nagkaroon kasi nga sagaan ng last year that excess funds of GOCCs can be tapped for other priority programs. Dapat sa akin sana sa ibang GOCCs pero yung for health, especially for PhilHealth, for the success of the UHC to materialize, dapat wag na natin sana pakialaman to.
So sir, will you make sure na sa proposed 2025 budget wala nang ganung provision na pwedeng gamitin para matransfer ang excess fund ng PhilHealth?
Particularly for PhilHealth, no? Kasi nga work in progress pa ito dapat kung fully implemented na to, that's when we all doon lang natin siguro sabihin dapat tong pakialaman. Wag natin sanang pakialaman because we are still in the process of maraming birth pains and all, pero sana naman hayaan natin. Let us give the Universal Healthcare Act a chance. It's a landmark legislation that's really intended to ease the burden of the ordinary Filipinos. Kasi kaya nga ako talaga, one of the reasons that I really wanted to make it back to the Senate nung nawala ako is to really monitor and itong implementation ng UHC, no? Kaya nga siguro as the principal sponsor and author of this measure, I will use the oversight function, no? And review already yung on the where are we now in its implementation, no? But what are the adjustments that need to be done? Ano yung mga kinakailangan natin, no? ba't nagkakaganito, no? Ang implementation na dapat sinasagot talaga. Doon ako sorry po, pero lungkot, nakakait na ulo na makikita mo ang laki ng bill, 1,000, tapos kakapiranggot ang sinasagot ng PhilHealth. So, it's PhilHealth and the Health Technology Assessment Council. Sa UHC kasi meron tayong HTAC na tinatawag, composed of specialists and experts who will determine kung ano dapat ang sagutin. Yung mga case rates, lahat sila po specialist kasi hindi naman tayo public health specialist. Sila dapat, what have they done? Anong ginawa nila in the course, no? HTAC and PhilHealth, anong pinagagawa ninyo in the past 3 or 4 years na dapat naramdam na ito ng na ating mga kababayan.
Sir, meron bang violations yung PhilHealth dun sa pag-transfer ng fund, considering na nasa batas na yung PhilHealth funds ay hindi pwedeng gamitin sa ibang purpose? Dapat lang itong gamitin para dun sa mga PhilHealth members.
Yes, I would say, siyempre, may bias ako dahil ako ang sponsored author. From what I know, it's that funds of PhilHealth should solely be used for its members' benefits or for health purposes. So, yun, hindi ko alam kung anong anong gusto ng PhilHealth leadership now. Bakit kinakailangan? Nagpapagood shot ba sila? Nagpapasikat na meron tayong profit, meron tayong excess funds, pinagmamaya. Hindi dapat natin pinagmamalaki yun. We are not. Again, hindi kayo private corporation. Dapat pag gobyerno, inuubos yan for services. Di ba? Hanggat meron pang nahihirapan magbayad ng hospital bills, we are not successful yet. The only time that you can, siguro, pagbibigyan natin, mag-declare sila ng excess funds pag lahat satisfied na hindi nahihirapan. Ang dami lumalapit pa rin sa atin, sa politiko, sa kung kani-kanino, lumalapit yung mga ordinaryong mamamayan dahil hirap na hirap magbayad. That's the intent of the law. Matanggal nga yung paglapit sa yung patronage politics especially, para nga covered na po sila. Kaya lang ngayon, inaasahan nila yung iba-ibang pondo pa, iba-ibang personalities to help with their expenses.
So sir, kung may violation ng batas, sabi nga kasi ni Senator Coco Pimentel, sacred dapat yung funds na ito ng PhilHealth dahil ito'y mula sa mga miyembro ng PhilHealth. So kung may violation sa batas, may dapat bang managot from PhilHealth?
Well, the last time I called for
Resignation?
a revamp, no? Sabi ko nga, kung hindi successful, siyempre nakakaano, 'di ba? Na proud tayo sa UHC, pero kung ganito naman ang performance ng primary agency tasked to implement, siyempre they have to be accountable, 'di ba? So leadership revamp, kailangan leadership change. We have to revamp PhilHealth. Kung hindi, if they do not if they cannot perform up to par, if they do not shape up, di kinakailangan talaga ng pagbabago, no, ng leadership ng PhilHealth for a fresh start.
So manggagaling yung initiative from the executive dapat yun, sir, yung revamp ng PhilHealth?
Of course, it's the president, it's the executive who appoints, no, the heads of the different agencies, no. So yun, kung hindi pa talaga mag-perform hopefully by end of the year, kung hindi pa mag-shape up, ay dapat siguro magkaroon talaga ng leadership change sa PhilHealth. So
naalala ko, sabi mo, baka mag-file ka ng resolution seeking Senate inquiry tungkol nga dito sa performance ba o leadership ng PhilHealth? Nag-file na po ba kayo?
Siguro yung oversight function na natin ng Senate on the implementation of UAC. That would include the performance already of PhilHealth, DOH, and other agencies concerned that is tasked to implement the Universal Healthcare Act. So, tingnan natin that we will assess kung ano po naging performance sila in that investigation. So, sir, itong pag-issue ng TRO ng Supreme Court, parang indication ba ito na may tsansa yung mga petitioner dun sa kanilang panawagan na madeklarang unconstitutional yung transfer of funds? Well, that's very welcome, and of course, there will be a chance kasi talagang nag-TRO na ang Supreme Court so to hear the side of the petitioners is already a step forward, no, in our quest, so that the PhilHealth funds would remain for health programs, especially for UAC implementation. So the mere fact na may TRO, may nakitang merit
yung Supreme
I
Court?
definitely. So I would like to I'm very it's a very welcome, and of course I'm very happy that the Supreme Court at least gave merits, no, to the petitioners move, no, for itong para hindi na po magalaw po itong remaining excess funds of PhilHealth.
Any related question, Raymond? And then Aaron? And then RG? Okay.
Hello. Good morning, sir. Yun lang sa kasi 'di ba yung budget ng PhilHealth, they are asking for another, I think about 76 billion ba for next year para sa subsidy. Dapat ba silang bigyan na considering na hindi nga nila ginamit itong 89 billion kaya pinalipat ng DOF from PhilHealth napunta sa National Treasury, Senator?
Well, yan po yung ating busisiin itong budget. We'll start already plenary debates, no, on Wednesday next week yata. So PhilHealth has to answer all of this, no? Why are they asking for subsidy? And then magde-declare sila, 'di ba? I think the Senate or we will be willing to give subsidy as long as kailangan talaga. Kung kinulang sana talaga para lang at least makagaan ito ron sa mga beneficiaries or patients, no, that are in need, then we are most willing. But now parang they will be asking for subsidy, they will declare that there is excess. Parang hindi consistent, di ba? Ba't ka pahingi ng subsidy, magde-declare ka tapos hindi mo gagamitin for the implementation of Universal Healthcare Act. So they really have a lot of explaining to do. Talagang malaki ang responsibility ng PhilHealth being the primary agency tasked to implement the UHC. Ang gandang batas ng UHC. No, kaya lang people have to rely on other programs. Sa malasakit dapat sana kung nandoon na yon sa kung malaki-laki ang sinasagot ng PhilHealth, dapat hindi natatakbo kung saan-saan ang mga pasyente, no? Yun nga yung iniiwasan natin yung pumipili doon sa PCSO, sa PAGCOR, sa politiko. Yun ang gusto natin mawala, na dapat pag na-hospital automatic nandun na, nakabawas na o nandun na yung assistance sa gobyerno, dapat ramdam na.
Okay, Aaron?
Good morning, Sen. Sen, Aaron po from SMNI. Sen, being the primary author po ng Universal Healthcare Law, meron na po ba kayong naisip na particular provision na maaari ninyong idagdag or baguhin just to compel the PhilHealth na yung mga assistance po nila ay mas maramdaman ng mga Pilipino?
Well, there's kasi sa law, we are, even if we are authors, we are not health experts. That's why we in the law, there is what you call the Health Technology Assessment Council. These are a panel of experts, public health practitioners, specialists. Sila yung mas nakakaalam kung ano yung dapat. They will determine the benefits, kung magkano ang dapat na ibigay, yung case rates, no? Mas alam po nila ito kaysa sa amin. So, anong ginawa nila in the past 4-5 years of implementation? 'Di ba? Sasabihin ni PhilHealth kasi ito lang yung case rate, dito lang sila pumasok. Dapat si HTAC ang nag-ayos noon. DOH and PhilHealth, no? Sila yung nag-usap-usap. Dapat pag merong na-hospital na ganito, complicated, dapat isama na, 'di ba? Minsan ang bigat 500,000, sasabihin nila ito lang yung pwedeng ibigay. Parang ang labo 'di ba? Kasi ito lang yung pumasok. So, nagkulang talaga sila. So that's why I would want, hopefully when we resume, I know it's budget season already, I would like the oversight function na mag-ano na natin, gamitin natin oversight function natin on the implementation of UHC so that we can determine sino ba nagkulang, si HTAC ba, si PhilHealth ba, DOH, sino ba nagkulang sa mga agencies, no? So there's still time, but we have a lot of catching up to do. Kasi nasa 5th year na tayo, dapat ramdam na ito So may natutulog dito. It's either HTAC or PhilHealth. Again, hindi ang National Health Insurance, alam naman natin ang insurance kung makakatakas sa mga claims para tumaas yung profit, 'di ba? Ganoon naman, yun ang private. Hindi tayo private. PhilHealth is public, no? Again, reminder, pag gobyerno ka, kung may pondo ka, ang dapat yan hindi savings, ginagastos yan para sa serbisyo. Ganun ako, mula nung mayor ako, talagang hindi natin pagmamalaki dapat na may surplus tayo, dapat yan ginagastos for services.
Sir, may patanong lang. Ay, meron ka pa, Aaron? No more?
Ano lang po sana, sir? Meron po ba silang, kumbaga, parang, meron po ba silang yearly report, like, meron po ba silang yearly report, sen, kung paano nakaka-apekto sa kanilang yung UHC? Like, kung paano nila, yung nagagastos nila for the UHC?
Well, kasi pag merong hearing, investigation, si PhilHealth President, ang ganda ng parang very rosy, no? Kinikwento niya lahat ng benefit packages, parang nagawa nila, nasa batas yun Yung Z benefit packages, yung complicated diseases, no? Yung mga, nag-level up naman talaga. Halimbawa, for kidney transplant, may 600,000, open heart bypass, 500,000, breast cancer from 150 to 200,000, pag severe pneumonia 300,000. Nag-level up naman talaga yung packages, pero bakit hindi nyo binibigay? 'Di ba? Ang daming lumalapit sa amin, nakikita ko, syempre nakaka-lungkot, nakaka-frustrate. Dapat sinasagot nyo, kung 30%, 40%, ang laking bagay na sana, much more kung kalahati man lang masagot nyo. Kung ang sarap, siguro ang sarap ng pakiramdam nung mga kababayan natin kahit papaano yung pinapasa nila sinagot ng PhilHealth ng gobyerno ng kalahati, no, or majority, and that's the intent of the law. Kaya nga, sino ba natulog dito, di ba? Sino natulog dito? Sa HTAC ba, si PhilHealth? Na hanggang ngayon struggling pa rin ang mga nauospital. Yan nga yung intent niyan. Kaya nga, one of the reasons that I push for this law, in my experience as a local chief executive nung mayor ako, na nakikita natin yan sa pag-ikot ko sa barangay, nauubos ang ipon, hirap na hirap, nasasanla lahat na kababayan natin pag merong na-ospital, lalo na kung komplikado, may nagdadialysis, may cancer, napakabigat talaga ng medical expenses. That's why this is really an ambitious measure, but we tried. No? We are trying to make it work. No, kaya naman 'to kung magtutulog-tulog, kung hindi tutulog-tulog si HTAC at si PhilHealth No, aside from PhilHealth's revenues from the members, yung sin taxes, no, na revenue will be used for indigents, for PWDs and senior citizens. So mako-cover sila na dahil dito. At yung subsidy pa kung kukulangin pa. So there is no reason for PhilHealth and HSAC not to cover everything kasi nga lahat we made sure that bases are covered. Ayaw naman natin ipasa itong UHC, Universal Healthcare, ang ganda pakinggan kung walang funding, di ba? We made sure that there is adequate funding. Ambitious, pero I think it can be done. So dapat lang hindi sila tutulog-tulog. May tutulog-tulog dito So they have to be answerable for this.
So sir, from Mean Los Baños, na-mention nyo kasi na instead of filing Senate resolution seeking Senate inquiry, oversight na lang. So magkakahiring daw ba or mag-investigate sa UHC implementation para malaman sino ang hindi nagpe-perform? Kung magkakandak ng hearing kailan? After the budget deliberation daw po ba?
Yun nga, magsisimula na kasi yung yun ang problema sa plenary budget debates would start already Wednesday. So kaya lang, budget, dapat din natin tignan kung how the agencies are performing. So tignan natin, baka even during the budget debates in the course, pwede rin po natin sigurong tignan yung accountability and performance ng PhilHealth and other agencies that is tasked to implement the UHC.
Pero kung tapos na yung budget, sir, yung oversight nyo, papatawag kayo ng hearing?
Oh, definitely, because we do not want a repeat of this again, no? Na magdedeklara ka ng excess funds, gayong dami pa rin hirap na hirap magbayad, parang may mali dun. Hindi parang, mali talaga yon. So we do not want a repeat of that. That's why we would like to conduct an investigation. If not, pag-isipan natin o yung oversight functional na natin on the implementation of the UAC.
Okay na? Okay. Raymond and then Nympha.
Sir, doon lang sa sense of urgency dahil, di ba, it's for the poorest of the poor itong PhilHealth funds. Pero, ang tagal na naglabas ng TRO, January 2025 po yung oral argument. So parang, di ba dapat medyo mas bilisan para the earlier na ma-resolve ito, much better for the members sana.
Well, definitely. But again, we just have to kung ano na to it's judiciary, nasa kamay na yun ng judiciary. We cannot influence that, no? Syempre, we have to respect the co-equal branch of government, no? Nasa kanila po eh. But I'm hoping that it will be resolved very soon. Again, for the benefit of the members. Kasi nga, sana mahabol pa natin na yung whatever we can save para nga mas magastos ito sa mga beneficiary, no? Lalo na ngayon sa mga pasyente. Ang concern ko talaga, which is really bothering me, yung pong mga lumalapit sa opisina, those who are seeking assistance to pay for their medical bills. So, syempre nakakalungkot, di ba? Dapat by now, ramdam na po yan. So, yun, sana kumasave pa natin para ma-prioritize natin yung mga beneficiaries.
Sir, kanina sa interview, just forgot the name of the lawyer, lady lawyer ng Department of Finance, they are insisting kasi na hindi naman daw yung premiums o contributions yung affected, kundi ito yung government subsidy. At may sapat naman daw pa rin na pondo na maiwan ang PhilHealth to finance or to pay for the hospitals.
Well, kasi po, yung UHC fund, iisa na lang po yan. Whether it's the members, galing po sa membership subsidy, yung pong subsidize din natin sa indirect contributors, which are the senior citizens, PWDs, and yung indigents, yung mga walang kapasidad, isang pondo na lang yan eh. No? Yun po yung galing sa Syntaxes, PAGCOR, PCSO funds, sinama na nga na po natin yan for one universal healthcare fund. So, unahin muna natin. Again, it's PhilHealth's fault. Si DOF, hindi mo masisiyan, naghahanap ng pondo yan to fund the priority programs of the administration or of government. So, si PhilHealth talagang may rito, may sala. Ba't kayo magdedeklara ng excess funds? Kayong napakarami pa ang dapat bayaran, dami pang dapat na bigyan ng assistance. Again, not until we are satisfied na wala nang nahihirapan magbayad sa hospital bills. Pag hospital din, bayad na. Eh ngayon, hirap na hirap pa rin eh. Di ba? 500,000, sasagutin mo 12,000. Di saan nila bubunuin yung almost 300, almost 400,000 pa? Di ba? Dapat yung konti na lang ang binubuno nila. Dapat sinasagot natin yung malaki. So, unahin muna natin. Dapat wala nang nahihirapan na magbayad ng bills bago natin ideklara na meron tayong savings or excess funds.
Okay, Nympha.
Morning, sir. Sir, sabi ng PhilHealth, parang susog dun sa tanong ni Raymond kanina. Sabi ng PhilHealth, sir, by the end of the year, may 500 million pesos silang excess fund. And then next year, magkaka-income pa sila ulit, sir, from the contribution ng members, although bababaan, sir, dun sa UHC law, di ba? So, kung meron pa silang ganung pondo, pabibigyan nyo pa huba ng subsidy na more than 70 billion pesos?
Well, that will be subject to our sa debate. So, tignan natin ano yung rationale nila for asking for subsidy kung they are proud enough to say that there's enough fund, reserve funds of 400, 500 billion, excess funds of 90 billion, nasaan napunta? Di ba? Bakit natin pinagmamalaki yung laki ng savings? So, dapat yung ginagastos. Again, we are not a private corporation. Paulit-ulit ako. Hindi natin kailangan ng savings, hindi natin kailangan ng excess funds. Kailangan natin sagutin yung mga nau-hospital, sagutin yung medical expenses, sagutin yung annual check-ups, no? Yung konsulta, hindi rin alam ng taong bayan. Hindi ko alam kung ano lang eh. Not everybody knows about the UHC na yung mga benefits nito na meron silang annual check-up, no? Preventive side na pinapalakas. Ano ba yan? Sinasadya yung hindi mag-information campaign para hindi gamitin? Di ba? So, yan yung mga dapat natin tignan. Kasi kulang sa information campaign eh. Even our OFWs, kaya nagkaroon ng uproar nun. Nung nagtaas ng benefits, hindi nila alam na yung buong pamilya nila, sagot na dapat ng PhilHealth. It's really information campaign and information dissemination.
Sir, pwede kayong mag-decide na hindi nabigyan ng subsidy next year. Sir, kasi kung 70 billion, pwede sa flood control projects.
Yes, kaya nga meron tayong plenary debates eh. So bubusisiin natin lahat and they have to answer habang wala pa yung investigation or oversight committee that will be convened because of the budget. So they have to answer, no, bakit sila naghingi ng subsidy gayong nagdeklara sila na napakalaking savings.
And then, sir, may TRO pero na-transfer na yung 60 billion pesos. So, dun ba sa hearing na ipatatawag ninyo o gusto nyo ipatawag, titingnan kung na-use up na yung 60 billion para kung merong hindi pa nagagamit, ibalik
Yes,
sa PhilHealth?
of course, we'll look into that, no? Kung ano yung pwede nating maisalba pa for the benefit of the members, then we will try, no? I think siguro lalo na Secretary Recto would understand, no? Kasi po siya po ang author nito eh. Siya ay one of principal author, in fact, siya po una nag-file nito ng Universal Healthcare Act, no? And I think that hindi naman ho niya pababayaan ang implementation to. He will understand that why we are trying to save PhilHealth's fund for the benefit of the members, no? Kasi kami yung nagtulong dito eh. Ako po yung nag-defend sa floor, but marami ring authors nito who would want the success of the PhilHealth. Gusto nila makita yung success ng Universal Healthcare Act, no, through PhilHealth's proper implementation.
Isa na lang, may specific recommendation ba kayo na palitan si PhilHealth President Ledesma?
Well, nagsalta na ako noon eh. They better shape up, no? Kasi siyempre nakakaano eh. Ako, personally, I feel bad. I feel frustrated. Nagmamalaki natin, meron tayong Universal Healthcare Act. Diba? Ang gandang pakinggan. Pero kung hanggang ngayon, hirap pa rin yung mga kababayan natin magbayad, parang hindi nararamdaman, syempre napapahiya ka na-frustrate ka na dapat ngayon ramdam na. More than napapahiya. Gusto ko nararamdaman na ito ng ating mga kababayan eh. Diba? So, syempre, nakakaano lang na pinagmamalaki natin yung profit, yung margin, yung savings, pero ang dami namang hirap. So, mukhang mali ng pananaw si Mr. Ledesma and PhilHealth officials na dapat meron tayong savings. Hindi tayo private corporation. Mas maging proud ka kung lahat ng nangangailangan, those who are seeking assistance, nabigyan mo ang karamihan. Mas nakagaan. Dapat mas proud tayo doon more than having excess funds.
Okay. Sir, do you have somebody in mind to replace PhilHealth President Ledesma?
Wala naman akong maisip pa rin ngayon, but siguro talagang dapat to may actuarial knowledge, no, kasi insurance to, but more than the finance side, knowledge of finance, actuarial, again, dapat meron ding for health eh, no, kasi public service ito eh. So hindi lang lahat numbers, hindi lang lahat profit, kailangan meron ding side niya for dapat makover ang ating mga kababayan, no? Dapat yun yung maging priority nila. Mas proud kayo dapat na na-servisyon lahat na yung out-of-pocket expense, kung 45% ngayon, kung maibaba natin ng 30% pa yan, doon natin masasabi na successful tayo.
Sir, nagpo-float yung name of a certain Albert Domingo. Do you know him, sir?
Yusek Domingo of Department of Health. He used to be with the World Health Organization as well. I worked with him during when I defended the Universal Healthcare Act. Siya po that time nasa WHO pa siya. So together with advocates, nakasama po natin si now Yusek Albert Domingo. And din siya, talagang advocate yan and talagang really passionate about the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Act.
And do you think he is qualified to become PhilHealth President?
I think in terms of yung sa aspeto ng health services, galing ng WHO, nag-USEC ng DOH, nandun. Pero kailangan din natin ng finance person, no, to make sure that the funds are managed well. Yung actuarial knowledge, no. Hirap yun eh. Ako, hindi ko rin maintindihan yung maganyan. So kailangan natin yung mga taong may actuarial background and financial experts as well. So dapat it's a team, no? Dapat kung nandiyon yung PhilHealth team, kung maganda, maayos, tapos yung HTAC, Health Technology Assessment Council, to decide on the case rates, benefits. There's no reason for the UHC not to work.
Okay, other issue na tayo. As Chairman ng Committee on Local Government, sir, have you watched the hearing of Senate Blue
Hindi
Ribbon
ako magre-report
Subcommittee?
sa Geneva. Mamaya na.
Mamaya. O sige sir, doon
Oo,
sa inyong
nice.
ginawang pag-attend sa IPU, ano yung magandang napag-usapan?
Well, I was tasked by the Senate President to be the head of delegation of the Senate. Dapat supposedly for the Philippine delegation, no? But Speaker Romualdez also went, no? In the last minute. So by protocol, of course, he will be the head of delegation. But siguro maganda lang doon. I'm proud to say that it's my first time to attend IPU. But nandun ako sa ASEAN Plus 3 Forum, I told myself na let's make it worthwhile, no? Na hindi naman masayang yung pamasahe natin lahat. So I reiterated the Philippine position on the West Philippine Sea in the presence of China. Nandun, nakikinig, siguro nakita niyo sa post ko, that we do not want war. We want to exhaust all diplomatic means. But sabi nga, we speak softly but we carry a big stick, no? Habang we are exhausting diplomatic means, we are dapat on our side, we are trying to also to work on our defense. So yung dapat magkaroon tayo ng minimum credible defense posture, inaayos din natin. Kumbaga, I took advantage of that forum because as I mentioned, we have to exhaust all diplomatic means sa United Nations, itong interparliamentary forum, hopefully to the parliamentarians, magkaroon ng resulto, hopefully the ASEAN countries which are being harassed also or intimidated by China's expansionism, hopefully we can band together and prevent this further expansionism and intimidation. So at least nagsalta po ako sa forum, no? And reiterated our country's position that we will fight for our sovereignty, we will fight for our Coast Guard, Navy personnel, and more importantly, the fishermen, no, na ipaglalaban natin, and our sovereignty.
So sir, after nyo i-share yun dun sa forum, may mga nakuha kayong support from other participants, from other countries?
Well, at least nailabas po naman natin po yun doon. They are more concerned doon sa current conflict na, no? Yung mga Ukraine, sa Gaza. But at least, hopefully, in the next forum, sabi ko nga, we have to talk about it already and prevent it from happening. Na wala pang conflict, pero dapat pag-usapan na. So, sa next year, because it will be, I'm sure it will be already hopefully, it will be part of the agenda already, itong problem in the West Philippine Sea, Indo-Pacific area.
So sir, ano yung na-advantage nun? Ano yung nag-gain natin dun sa forum na yun? Na iparating lang natin yung stand dito sa conflict sa West Philippine Sea?
Well, of course, syempre si China would sumagot din sila that yung region daw natin harmonious. Of course, ang inaan nila yung pagpasok ng Estados Unidos na yun lang daw ang nagtutulak magkaroon ng gulo rito. It's not that, no? We are standing on our ground because we're fighting for our territorial integrity and sovereignty, no? Hindi tayo nagpapagamit. It's not about the United States, it's not about the superpowers sa conflict, no? Tayo tumatayo, protecting our and standing on our sovereignty. So we just reiterated that stand at katatapos ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos doon sa Laos, no, sa ASEAN. So nireiterate ko lang din yung kanya pong naging position doon.
Sir, as Chairman ng Committee on Local Governments and bilang dating San Juan Mayor, would you like to comment on what former President Duterte has said dun ho sa Senate hearing? Ang sabi niya, ang imperfections o problema sa illegal drugs o sa war on drug nasa mga local government units dahil hindi daw nakikiisa ang mga mayor. Hindi daw mawawala ang illegal na droga kung may mga mayor mismo ang sangkot dahil laging pera ang habol o kaya naman daw ay natatakot labanan ng illegal drugs dahil ayaw ng gulo at ang target lang ay re-elections.
Well, of course, hindi dapat pwedeng i-tolerate yung ganon kung talagang totoo nga po yun, no? Public officials should never be involved in drug trade or tolerate drug trade, no? As former mayor, of course, galit din naman tayo dyan, no? Wala tayong patawad, no? No negotiation when it comes to drug cases, pushers, kahit may lumapit, hindi natin pinagbibigyan. But of course, we do not condone extrajudicial killings, no? Hindi naman natin yan kinokondone. But like him or not, just like to yung pong pag-take na responsibility ni Pangulong Duterte for the actions of his administration, kumbaga inako niya lahat sabi niya, I am responsible, wala siyang tinuro. So subject of debates whether yung kanila pong diskarte tama o mali, no? Yung mga revelations during that hearing, it's up already to the DOJ and other concerned agencies on how they will process if there is already enough basis for the filing of cases. Sabi nga ni former President Duterte, they file the cases, no? So let us it's time to let our justice system take its course, no? Let DOJ, other concerned agencies do its job, no? Na nasa kanilang bola na yung bola nasa kanilang kamay na po 'yon. But again, sabi ko nga, like him or not, no, subject of debates, yung diskarte po ni Pangulong former President Duterte. But again, yung yung pag-ako niya for responsibility, yung kumbaga the buck stops with me. At least hindi siya nagturo ng iba, no? Sabi niya, he'll be answerable. No, yun lang ang nakita kong naging para sa akin, still commendable na at least hindi ka nagturong iba, no? Na
Sarili na lang.
you took on the inako mo yung responsibilidad. Sabi niya akong responsable dito.
Na-shock ba kayo, sir, dun sa mga admission ng dating Pangulo? At do you think incriminating yung kanyang mga admission dahil under oath nga yung lahat ng sinabi niya?
Well, sinasabi naman niya yan lagi, no, sa mga speeches niya, lalo nang siya po ang Pangulo. So, ngayon lang, under oath, no? That's the difference. So, again, it's subject of debates whether incriminating or not. Again, sabi ko nga, let our justice system function, take its course. Nandun na po yun, nasa DOJ and other agencies na po yun, yung appreciation nila, whether there is basis already to file cases or not.
Sir, do you have any concern dun sa sinasagawang parallel investigation ng Senate sa war on drugs? Kasi dun sa first hearing, may isang pulis na nag-akusa na parang inudyukan lang siya or pinressure para ikumpirma yung sinabi ni Garma na may reward money involved dun sa dun sa pagpatay ng mga drug suspect. So, may mga inaakusahang kongresista. So, may nakikita bang concern dito sa parallel investigation?
Siguro I would agree with siguro sabi ni minority leader, mukhang wala nang susunod, no? I think they already are satisfied with with all the information that they got.
Meron pa daw, sir.
Kung meron o wala, ako personally, I think, kung if we can cut it short, no, we all know for a fact, reality is that if it's a Senate or a House investigation, it's politically charged. Hayaan na natin yung mga concerned agencies to do their work with all the information and the facts that have been discovered, no, nung nakarang hearing. So, mas maganda kasi ako personally na nakakalungkot ang aga ng political tawag nito, bickerings, napakaaga, no, naaga ng bangayan. We cannot move forward as much as possible. I do not want to get to dip my hands into it, no, kasi trabaho na lang tayo, daming problema, no, dito lang sa UAC implementation, ang dami pa nating mga dapat infrastructure na dapat natin maghabol. Ang dami nating problema But and all of these political bickerings are not helping on our direction, no? Nakakagulo eh. Ang aga. Kalahati pa lang ng wala pa tayo sa half of term. Nagsimula na yung political. Kung siguro 1 year before, katanggap-tanggap eh. Sayang yung productive year sana natin. Di bali na yung 1 year na political bickerings, at least may 5 years time productive. Eh ngayon, 2.5 pa lang. Nagsimula na. Nangihinayang ako. Kaya nga, as much as possible, I do not want to get involved in this political squabble, political bickerings, because there's still a lot of job, a lot of challenges, a lot of problems that need to be addressed.
Pero sir, naniniwala naman kayo na dapat matulungan yung mga victims ng allegedly EGK na matulungan silang makahanap ng hustisya?
Well, definitely. Lahat naman ng lahat ng those who are oppressed nga, sabi nga, those dapat mas talagang tulungan natin, bigyan ng yung mga naapi o yung mga talagang walang kalaban-laban, yun talagang dapat tulungan, and they deserve to be given justice as well.
Pero yung first hearing is enough na, sir? Do you think nag-gather na nila lahat ng kinakailangang informations dun sa mga naging testimonya ng dating Pangulo?
Again, let us let the agencies already do their work, no? Nasa kanila na po 'yon. I think marami naman tayong information na nakuha na eh, no? Kasi ayoko nang makialam talaga din sa gantong ang dami pang problema eh. UHC lang, I have my hands full already, kaya I do not want to dip in my hands into other issues na hot issues, kahit na hot issues na siguro napansin nyo, minsan nag-attend ako, minsan hindi, because there's still a lot of things that needs to be done, no? For one of the reasons na gusto kong bumalik sa Senate, yung implementation na UHC, yung pong infrastructure na naghahabol tayo. So happen, ako rin ang magdi-defend ng DOTR na that's very close to my heart, no? Infra development. So we are already entering the budget season, plenary debate, so magiging busy na po tayo dito, kaya hopefully matapos kaagad itong mga investigation, no, that are syempre magiging politically charged if it will come in the Senate. So trabaho na muna tayo, ang dami pa problema eh.
Okay.
So marami pa tayong challenges that we need to be addressed.
Last 2 questions kasi may flight pa si sir. Okay, Nympha.
Sir, clarify lang yung panawagan ninyo na tapusin na yung investigasyon pareho Senate and Kamara.
We don't, para sa akin, na tayo, trabaho na muna tayo. We can, ayoko naman, there's interparliamentary courtesy. I do not want to impose on the other house, no? That's their prerogative. Pero siguro sa akin, I think even Senate President Cheese said na ayaw din niyang magtagal itong mga ito, ayaw niyang mag-drag on, no, yung mga ganitong issue, because there's a lot of work to be done. By Wednesday, mag-ano na tayo, budget season. So hopefully matapos na itong mga ibang issues or topics, no? Mag-concentrate na tayo sa the budget, because more than half of our job is itong budget season, no? Na make sure that priority programs are funded, and pagbusisi ng mga programa o yung mga nakaraang performance din ng mga agencies.
Okay, and then last mula kay Mianus Baños ng TV5. Sabi niya, sir, follow up dun sa panawagan yung palitan na si PhilHealth President Ledesma. Now o end of the year pa? At i-assess daw ba muna sino ang natutulog sa UHC implementation bago hilingin ang pagsiba kay Ledesma?
Immediate kasi nakakalingkot, kasi bakit ang kasalanan po nila, pinagmalaki nila na meron excess funds sa PhilHealth, no? Just to please our economic managers, the administration, pagpapasikat ka na, wow, ang laki na excess funds na maiko-contribute mo for priority programs, gayong ang daming hirap na hirap magbayad ng hospital bills, then you are not a successful president of PhilHealth. Kasi nga, nagpasikat ka, may excess funds ka, pero ang dami namang hirap. Diba? So, immediately, kinakailangan magkaroon revamp, kailangan umayos ang PhilHealth. Kailangan ang natin dito, we are not after change, hindi naman tayo gusto natin magkaroon pagbabago basta-basta. Kailangan immediately maramdaman ng beneficiaries ng taong bayan, no? Filipinos who are members of PhilHealth automatically, dapat maramdaman kaagad nila itong PhilHealth na nandyan for the implementation of Universal Healthcare Act.
Okay, no more? On that note, thank you so much, Senator J.V.
Thank you.
Ejercito, and have safe travel, sir. At pasalubong pagbalik niyo.